gentlemen, boys and girls, put your hands together, make some noise for our 5-star director, the beautiful and the amazing Amy Dunlap!
Wow, thank you guys so much. My heart is now pounding. Thank you so much. Linda, thank you. And Harris, congratulations. Nobody deserves it more for everything you do for this company. Congratulations. All right, well, I'm so excited to be here with you guys today, and I'm gonna share with you guys about tapestry. So that's my topic, tapestry. So, and I'm gonna try really hard not to get emotional. And if I do, I'm just gonna keep talking through my emotion, if that's okay with you guys. So, you know, several years back, I was in another platform, and I went to Dallas, Texas to go seek a goal. And I know a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. Like when you're tired and you don't feel like you have it anymore, then you do it one more time. Like, you know, like you fall down and you're like, but I gotta do it one more time. And I had to do a million things that day before I left to go to Dallas, and I was going to a fashion show. I was hosting a fashion show of all things. And when I was there, I knew I was gonna buy this pair of shoes. And so I put cash, I had like this suit jacket, and the inside pocket, I put cash for the shoes. I folded it up, and I put it there. And when I got to the fashion show, the shoes didn't fit. And I had to leave to go to Dallas, so I kind of forgot about the money, forgot about the shoes, and I went to Dallas. When I got there, I rented a car from Budget Rental. Kind of remember that, like Budget Rental. That's important. So I rent this car from Budget Rental, and I go to the meeting. And when I got to the meeting, like, there was hardly anybody there. I don't know if any of you guys can relate to that. Like, I rush. I get on the plane, I get to Dallas, I go to the meeting, and there's hardly anybody there. And then the next morning, there was gonna be another meeting. And that meeting got canceled. So my entire trip felt like a waste. Felt like, why did I even do this trip? Like, I didn't get anything from it. I don't know if any of you guys can relate to that. And so then, I decided I'm gonna take a flight, and I'm gonna get on my flight early, go get a new flight. And so when I went to return my car, I returned my car to Dollar Rental. Not Budget, but Dollar. The guy's like, no, this is the wrong place, So I had all this delay. So then I have to take it to Budget Rental. I'm yellow like that. I don't know if you guys know what that means. Little ADHD. And so I return it, and then I get on the shuttle bus to go to my terminal. When I went to the terminal, I went to the wrong terminal. Like, you could think, I mean, it was like bad thing, all happening to me, but I just kept going. So by the time I got there, I couldn't take the flight that I wanted to take home. I was on my original flight that I started out to be on to begin with. Are you guys with me? The original flight. After all that, I didn't make any money. I spent money and I didn't make any money. And so I was on the phone with my mentor before I got on the plane, and I put my phone in my purse. Put it in there, and I landed. We flew home, I landed. When I had parked my car, I had parked my car in lot C before I left. By the time I arrived at the St. Louis airport, it was 11:30 at night. I thought it was gonna be there a lot earlier. And so I go to find my phone, and it's not in my purse. So I dump my purse out on the ground. dumping it out if my phone's not there. Then I find it in the lining of my purse, like all this time later. Okay? Delay, delay, delay. I'm starting to feel tired. I'm starting to wonder, is this worth it? What am I doing? I'm spending all this money. Nothing's happening for me. Nothing's happening for me. For me. Okay? A little selfish. Nothing's happening for me. And so I finally find my phone. I go out, and here's the shuttle bus. I get on the shuttle bus, and I'm getting ready to get on the shuttle bus, and it says A on it. And the guy says to me, "We'll take you." And I'm like, "To see?" And he's like, "Yeah." I know, I shouldn't have done that. But I get on it. And then somebody else got on it, and he said, "Wait, where are you going?" And I said, "C." And he said, "Oh, I can't take you there." So I get off the bus, another delay. Then the most magical thing that's ever happened in my life happened to me. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. It completely changed my life. So here it is, late. By this time, 11:50, 11:55 at night. Shuttle bus pulls up, lot C. The lady gets off the bus, and she gets my bags. I'm really tired, I'm so glad. She puts them on the bus, and on the way there, she was singing. On the way to the lot, she was like singing church songs. And I said, she goes, "How was your day?" And I go, I didn't give her the whole scoop, but I was like, "It's been long, how was yours?" She said, "Man, I got up today and I put a roast in, and I took my grandkids to church, and I am blessed, and I am highly favored." This is what she's saying to me. And I literally, this thought crossed my mind. This is one of those people that John Maxwell talks about. Like, she's driving this bus, but she's gonna be like some type of like, elitist in society because of her attitude. And so I started feeling this intuition within me, my spirit. God started saying to me, "Hey, you have that cash in your pocket. You need to give that to her." And I was like, I'm not gonna give her this cash. Not that I don't mind giving it to her, she's gonna think I'm a Looney Tune. And he was like, "No, give her the cash." Like, you guys know, I don't know if you've ever, I'm not saying he goes, "Amy, give me the cash," or anything like that. Like, that wasn't like that. It was just like, give her the cash. And so the bus pulls up, and I got off the bus, and I didn't give her the cash. But I had this jolting sensation. Give her the cash. And I turned around, and I knocked on her door, the bus door. She opened it up. I'm like, I'm looking like a fool. She opened it up, and I said, "God told me to give you cash." And I pull it out, and I hand it to her. She got off the bus. She's a lot bigger than me. She got off the bus, and she started hugging me. And she started jumping up and down. "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh." She said, "This morning, before I left the house, God told me He was going to provide for me. And it happened at 11:59, still today." Does that make sense? Still that day. Still that day. Still that day. And right now, as we go through this, it's going to be pretty quick. But as we go through this, I am not talking to the person that has it all together today. It's not you I'm talking to. I'm not talking to the person that like is confident, and you're like, "Man, I wake up feeling like I'm gonna win, and I don't ever get jealous, and every day is the best as the day before, and man, life is good, and nothing ever happens wrong with me because I am all that in a bag of chips." I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the person that sometimes when you wake up in the morning, you think, "Can I do it again?" That you think, "What's wrong with me?" That you think, "I feel like everybody's passing me up and I'm so shy and I don't know what to do and I don't know." That you are who I'm talking to. Because what I want you to understand is we are all one big tapestry. When I hurt, you hurt. And when you hurt, I hurt. But when we continue to work and go and move and be, just like that lady on the bus, she went and she worked and she moved and she be and she sing and she was happy, and that energy was attracting things into her life. Does that make sense? That's what it is. So we have to go and we have to work and we have to move and we have to be. And this company is such a tapestry. You know, but like there are conventions that sometimes you go to and the convention needs you. Meaning that your energy's so high and you're on point and you're the one lighting the candles. And there are other times you get into a group and you're the one that needs the group. And some of you guys needed the group this weekend. Some of you needed the tapestry. You know, before I got here, I literally thought to myself, this has been probably some of the hardest weeks of my life over the summer, of my career. And I know you're not supposed to share that on stage, but I literally, probably 4 weeks ago, I was at a boat store, and I was sitting on the curb. I looked like a crackhead. I was sitting on the curb on the phone with Daniel. I look like I'm like on the floor, on the ground, sitting on this curb, and I'm literally crying. Because I had a major setback. And some of you guys here today had a major setback. And Daniel started giving me a Daniel speech like, I don't know, like, Michael Jordan had a bad game, and some other basketball player, I don't even remember his name, like, he beat him, and then Michael Jordan somebody asked Michael Jordan about the other basketball player, and Michael Jordan said, I don't even know his name. I don't know his name either right now. But Daniel's like giving me this pep talk. And before I got here the other day, I was like, I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna bring my best. And I'm gonna come at this again and again and again, because I am like a tree planted by the water. The wind can blow on me, the wind can push on me, the pressure can happen, but I'm not going to move. Because the one thing that I understand is that we are all a part of something bigger. So I got on the escalator and I go up to registration, and all of my Asian friends are there and they start hugging me, and I'm like crying. I'm like, what's wrong with me? I'm crying because 3 is getting in me, getting in my spirit as it gets in your spirit and as it moves. So you guys, your part matters. Just like that lady on the bus, your part matters. Every great thing that ever happens on this earth is going to start in your mind. It's an idea. It's an idea in your mind. You all have them. It's a logos idea that's given to you, and you go, I don't know what to do. But I guarantee you, just raise your hand. How many of you guys know one thing that if you walked away today and you did it, that would change your business forever, but you're just scared to do it a little bit? Raise your hand if that's you. Like you already know your answer. That is your logos idea, like God going, Paul, give her that money, give her that money. And our dreams become our calling. Now, let's take that bus story into network marketing for a second. You guys ready for that? Okay. Many years ago, when I very first got started in the industry, there was this lady named Carolyn. And my mentor said, you need to call the nicest person that you know. Well, I called Carolyn. Carolyn said, nope, I don't want to do it. Is that one of those MLM things? You know, I don't want to do that. And I cried. I literally cried. I didn't want to get up. I didn't want to go again, okay? Carolyn, time later, I kept asking her and asking her and asking her. Finally, I said to her, if you come to my house and talk to me, I will never ask you to listen again if you say no. And she said, okay. She drove to my house in a snowstorm. I didn't think she would come, it was snowy. She knocked on the door and I opened the door and I said, I didn't think you would come. And she said, well, you wouldn't quit bugging the bleep out of me. So that's why I came, because I wouldn't leave her alone. So she came and she listened, and it changed her life. This industry changed her life. But we're a tapestry, because then Carolyn didn't really stick with the industry. Carolyn then talks to her daughter-in-law, enrolls her daughter-in-law. Her daughter-in-law's mean. I don't know if you guys have ever worked with a Karen. Like, she's so particular about everything. Like, she's just like mean. But I about said her name. But that daughter-in-law ended up enrolling someone named Melissa. Melissa enrolled her bridesmaid. That bridesmaid became the highest producing networker ever on my team, ever. She went on to another company, she built a huge company, and then she enrolled me into that company. Then she enrolled a friend who enrolled Wendy Zerwanka. And Wendy Zerwanka was a high school teacher in Southern Missouri. And Wendy was the teacher of Raquel Roulette. Raquel is a girl on my team, and this is tapestry. I am telling you that work going from there to there to there to there to there to there was incredible grit. Like, for me, I had tears, I had desperation, I had so many times that I wanted to quit, but I'm like a tree planted by the water, and my roots are deep. And no matter how hard the wind blows, I'm not going to stop. Because I know if I stop, it's not about the impact it's gonna have on me, it's about the impact that it's gonna have on others. And that's how you rise up, when you begin to understand the impact it's going to have on others. So I'm gonna call Raquel up on the stage. Raquel Roulette, come up here, girl. So Raquel, a couple nights ago I was at home, and it's been really busy. Like, we all have life. And I was having a lot of life. I was on another Zoom, and Raquel said, message me, it's an emergency. And I thought, oh no, what is it? So I got off the other Zoom and I messaged her, and she said, I have worked so hard, and I have filled up a Zoom full of people, and my speaker can't be on. Can you get on? And I said, yes. And when Raquel opened up her mouth, she's gonna share her story. When she opened up her mouth and she started speaking, I literally had to turn the camera off on my phone, because it reminded me, this is never about me. It's always about the other person. Raquel wouldn't be standing here today if in 2000, I didn't call Carolyn. And then I didn't call the next person or the next person. Does that make sense? Here we are 24 years later, and Raquel doesn't even know Carolyn. But we are all one big tapestry. And when you don't stop working and you keep going to the next, your life will change. All right, Raquel.
Hello, everyone. For those of you who may not know me or my background, my name is Raquel Roulette, like the game I like to say. More than a game involving money, roulette, like the game of life, is about chance and opportunity. Today, I'm a full-time college student. I'm a solo mom to 3 amazing kids, aged 8, 6, and 4. And I'm also an author. Within the past year, we've released 3 books, and I've seen 8 countries in the same amount of time. And I've been very, very blessed to have had some really awesome and powerful partnerships and connections made. So, a little about me. Growing up, I attended over 23 different schools, so I moved probably 30, 35 times. I know that sounds crazy and unbelievable. It's the true story. So, I had about 2.5 years of homelessness in high school, but I kept pursuing my education and pushing myself towards that because it was the best I knew to do. But I ended up in college based off of scholarship. which was a whole God thing because nobody in my family had ever finished more than high school. And I ended up in school on scholarship for business and entrepreneurship. And it ended up being like international marketing and nonprofit, which is where my heart is. So I ended up in college on full ride scholarship, which was curating my degree plans. And somebody came to speak while I was at school. Now that woman ended up being one of the top 10 most inspirational women in the world. Like, truly and literally, if you Google her name is Dr. Tara Wright Trent, and she's also known as Oprah's #1 all-time favorite guest of the entire Oprah show. Okay, so that woman had a similar story to mine, and so powerful though, because she was in Zimbabwe and couldn't go to school, and long story short, she ended up getting her education, and Oprah partnered with her, and they ended up building schools in Africa, and they've put over 40,000 students or more now through school. And that was so powerful to me because I knew firsthand what happens when people don't have access to opportunity or education to level up, you know? So a job is one thing, but people often feel like they're stuck in that circle and that's just what they have to keep doing. And so anyway, I ended up asking her, can I help her in any way for her mission, which was to help other people get their education. And then long story short, she ended up selecting me from a global pool of women to co-author now 2 books. And so they've gifted these books to the Oscar nominees. I'm a donor to her scholarship fund. Girls are going to college, and it's really been awesome. And so I'm in school, right? And I'm in a sales class, and I learned how much potential there is and how much control we have as long as you have a good product, and you have to have good people. And so I'm meditating on just my life and how I can make a difference and how I can give back, and I know I'm gonna need a lot of money. Now, we don't want a love of money, but money is a tool, it is a resource, and we need it to solve problems. So aiming to be a facilitator of met needs for solving those problems, I'm gonna need a lot of money if I'm gonna give a lot of money away. And so I learned through education and that sales and commissions and affiliate marketing or direct word of mouth, like if somebody compliments me on my hair and I tell them where I get it done, I'm not gonna get any kickback on that whatsoever, but I still love my hair, so I'm gonna tell them anyway. And so I already do that in my life. And so whenever I learned about the high earning potential compared to almost anything else I can invest my life into, I knew that this was gonna be the vessel that was gonna allow me to make as much money as possible. And so I meditated on it, and it never had sounded interesting before, but I was thinking that my earnings are directly correlated to my ability. And that was the first time that it really clicked for me. And so I knew that I didn't have a product, and I'm not gonna sell Mary Kay, I'm not gonna sell rainbow vacuum cleaners or something that I can't tie to my personal me, my why. And those things are great, but they're just not for me because I'm truly living on it with intention. And so I know that with everything I've been through, I'm here for a reason. And so I wanted to maximize that and help as many people as I can while I'm here. So I was fortunate to be invited, actually flown across the United States. And you could say randomly, but you know, I knew that while it was gonna be a year before I started my career because of my course load, I meditated on it, and it was a month later that somebody said they'll pay for everything. They took care of my flight, my hotel, my food, my Ubers, everything. And then before I knew it, and I'm meditating and I'm prayerful and I'm using my intelligence to, make sure I'm making a good decision, discernment, right? Well, I ended up on stage cutting the ribbon to this revolutionary company that launched that day in 14 countries around the world. And so since then, as you all know, we've actually broken records. I've been able to fly around the world. I've met incredible people, made such amazing new friends. Shout out to my friends in Hong Kong and the Philippines and Australia and everywhere else. But just being able to experience those new cultures, and I really have a community. I definitely don't feel alone anymore. And we're really just rocking with it here at 3. And it is absolutely and completely 100% our responsibility to be our best selves, to encourage others, to use our time and experiences with intention, and do our part on an individual basis to do what we can to make things better. We use our experiences to relate with each other and give each other hope. I say all that to say I'm so happy to be here, and And we're no longer living life on the merry-go-round, but instead playing our own lives like the game of roulette and spending our days working on moving mountains together. Thank you for having me. Let's keep rocking it, and today's the day. Let's rise up.
Awesome. Let's hear it for Raquel. Yes, thank you, Raquel. Beautiful. Next up, we have our incredible panel we're going to be talking about your roadmap. Like, you're excited. What do you do when you get out of here? Very, very direct. What do you do? You guys are going to be in for a treat. And so please welcome up on the stage, George Ruiz. George is a 4-star director from Austin,